Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Real Talk, where we simply keep things real. My name is Robin, and today I would love for us to have a conversation regarding grief. Life is so interesting. I wasn't, honestly, I didn't think anytime soon I would um, be here having a conversation regarding grief, but is something that actually came up during my reflection time today. Um, I've been feeling super nauseous. And for the first time in my life, I had to take a gravel. And I remember saying, like, somebody, whether it's a friend or a sister, has been fooling around in the bedroom because why am I so nauseous to the point of like feeling like I'm experiencing morning sickness? And no, your girl is not carrying. But I remember my friend, I was talking to a friend and they were saying like, "Oh, like is this something that you ate? Is it spiritual? Is it compassion fatigue? Is it burnout?" And I remember replying and saying that could be a combination of all. However, when like you just finished lifting up something extremely heavy, that's how I feel. And at that time, like I was cleaning and my music was bumping, and I said, you know what? I feel like this is like a moment where I just need to be still and lean into like whatever is present in this moment, lean into whatever I'm feeling. And as I sat there, the word grief came up. And I took out my journal, I got my pen, and I wrote, I think I'm grieving, and that's okay. And I've been trying to figure out like why I've been feeling this way. And I remember writing that like when we're constantly moving and then pause, oftentimes we end up feeling everything. Another analogy is, as a kid, we would like spin around in circles, spin and spin and spin and spin and spin. Or remember back in the days, we used to have those tire swings and like you would twirl it up and then you would let the person go and they would go spinning. And then when you were done or when you stopped, you just felt super dizzy, nauseous, like everything would be spinning. And I'm like, that is how I feel. And most recently, I actually, after 15 years, I decided to step away from being in the front line within the social service sector and kind of having this in between break of what's next. I'm realizing that as I'm sitting or standing and as everything has come to a stop, I think I'm feeling everything that I have been carrying or walking with in that moment, in this moment. And some of the things are things that I am aware of, and other things are stuff that I wasn't aware of, like grief and the emotions that come with that. So grief to me is a journey. I think us, well, at least for myself, I think we would all love for grief just to be done within like one stage, but I believe it's a journey, and I believe that it shows up in our life at different times and it can look different. And for myself, grief, when I sat down and I said, I think I'm grieving and that is okay, it's because in this time in my life, everything that I've lost. And I'm going to validate myself right now because I want to say everything that I feel like I lost, but it's not a feeling, it's reality. So everything that I've lost, everything that I've missed out on, I've come to realize that I haven't really sat with it. I haven't really spoken about how has how what is the feeling behind that. Sometimes it feels like I have completely lost myself. And a part of that feels like losing my identity. I realize I haven't sat down and allowed myself to feel what was it like to, at the end of the day, not have the time or the space or the energy to grieve. You know, sometimes when you lose something or you lose somebody, there is, well, I believe it's important that there is a time and a space for you to sit in that. And there's also a time, you know, where you begin to move forward. And I feel like for myself, I just moved forward. And a big step that I've missed is sitting in what occurred, sitting in how did it feel to lose that, sitting in how did it feel to know that you're never going to see that person again. And I think a part of it is like, okay, whatever, I don't like this feeling, it's uncomfortable, I'm just ready to move forward on what's next. And then if we're just honest with ourselves, like sometimes life doesn't allow for us to just sit. And I feel like it's at that point in time where you really have to put your foot down and say, you know what, I'm going to make time for this. And I feel like that's where I'm at right now because life lately, life for the past 3 to 4 years have been lifing. And I've realized I've just moved forward and haven't really taken the time to sit with what I'm feeling and how did it feel to lose this person? How did it feel to miss out on this moment? And I think that's a huge healing component when it comes to grief. Because as I sat down and I reflected, I realized, you know what, even if it's just for a few days, I need to be intentional about being kind to myself, showing myself compassionate grace. And I need to allow myself to grieve and feel what I've lost, to feel what I am feeling. And I said to myself, like, I need to invite Holy Spirit into those moments or even into this moment so that He can be a comforter. Because I feel like when we're grieving and when we have moved forward, we miss the point in time where you need that hug, you need that embrace, you need, you know, whether it's a person or whatever it is to come and say, oh my gosh, like, girl, are you okay? And give you a hug. Like you need to have a community, a safe community around you. So I've come to identify that I've missed out on that, and I need to sit and allow Holy Spirit to come in and be a comforter. And that can look different. It can look like just having these still moments in my house where I'm just listening to worship and feeling the presence of God there with me. It can also look like Him bringing people into my life who are able to embrace me in that way. Another thing that I realize that's important when you're grieving is to open up those closed areas. And, for myself, I believe in Jesus. I believe in the power of His name. I believe that He's a healer. And I said to myself, I need to open up those closed areas and let Jesus enter so He can heal that wound that occurred during loss. Y'all hear what I'm saying? And so that's what I plan to do. I think we live in a world where it's just so super fast. And I can be honest, like during some of the times of a lot of my losses, I didn't have healthy community. There are people in my community that were just saying, just get over it. Just get over it. And I can see now God is so kind and He's so patient and He's so loving that He's saying, sit here with me. Allow me to embrace you. An exercise that I've done, and if you're someone that has recently gone through a loss or you're on this journey of grief like myself, I would really encourage you to participate in this exercise. I didn't read it in a book or nothing like that. It's just something that came to my mind one night. And what I did is the area of loss that really created pain for me, I decided to sit and I said, God, show me where you were in that moment. And, this exercise involves having to open up your heart, having to, I don't want to use imagination, but allowing your mind and your heart to go to places that it hasn't been able to go to because it's been blocked. You have put up walls and it has caused a blockage. And doing this exercise has been really helpful because one of the things that I've been struggling with is, God, I feel like you were not there. And it has caused me to feel like you don't care about me. Like, can we be real? This is real talk. Let's have a real talk moment. Felt like, God, you don't care. Like, where were you? And as I participated in this exercise and I allowed myself to get rid or remove those walls and things that I've been putting up, I started to see exactly where He was and where He still is today. So I would encourage you to do that exercise. If you want to do all your moments, you go right ahead. But for me, I said, I only got the strength to do one today. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to share with you all. I want you to know that grief is a journey, and that is okay. I want you to know that it's okay to allow yourself to sit in it. It's okay to allow yourself to be comforted. And it's okay to allow yourself to feel. I want to let you know that life is a journey. Take your time. Don't rush into the next if you feel like you're not ready. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to be still. And lastly, I want to encourage you by letting you know that it's okay to want to feel safe. I spoke about it before on, having a safe community. It is so important when you find yourself entering into those phases of grief that you have safe people around you who can love you, who can embrace you, and let you know that everything is going to be okay, because everything will be okay. And probably lastly, I want to encourage you to think about how you can honor what you have lost. And that's going to look different for each person and probably for each phase. For myself, I thought, oh my gosh, I need to go look at this grave. And now I'm not in that phase anymore. And I'm just talking about one specific moment of grief in my life. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to honor and to remember. Y'all hear what I'm saying? There's this song that for 3 months I was playing on my guitar over and over and over again. And for my Spotify listeners, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it to play at the end. But one of the lyrics that just continued to stand out to me, and let me tell you, in this 3 months when I was playing this song, I would cry. And the lyric that always touched my heart was, "You are my hiding place, my safe refuge." So you're not alone. Grief is interesting. Life is interesting. But you deserve stillness. You deserve love. You deserve to be embraced. And I really encourage you to find time to go and enter into those moments of loss and ask God, where were you? And my prayer is that He will reveal not only His true nature, but His character to you in those moments. Alrighty. Thank you so much for listening, y'all. And we'll chat soon. Ciao, ciao.